What is happening, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Today, as I promised last week, we are gonna be reviewing some of my predictions for the AFC Bournemouth FIFA 19 Ultimate Team ratings. I've gone off the FIFA 18 ratings a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to have every single one shown either there or there. I'm not 100% sure. I've designed a card for basically just the stat purposes. Kind of what the stats I think they should be rated with and their overall rating. Obviously, I've had a little bit of an idea through the FIFA 18 career mode. Obviously, during updates, we get updated sort of ratings on how FIFA 19 is going to pan out. But through previous years, we have seen that this doesn't always mean anything. And I don't know whether it's a biased opinion, but FIFA has always really underrated the Bournemouth players, in my opinion. Like how Adam Smith, our right back, is still silver in FIFA 18, I have no idea. Obviously players like Ryan Fraser, who have had a great season, still silver. Like, I don't know. I want you guys to let me know. Obviously don't spam a load of hate if you don't agree. Obviously it's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section where I've gone right and where you think there's room for improvement. Now, we'll start off with the goalkeepers. Begovic, 82 overall at the start of FIFA 18. This has already changed in career mode. I think he's gone down to an 80. And this is kind of how I plan his card to be. 80 rated at the start of FIFA 19. He could get informs, I think he's going to have a good season with us, but in my opinion, I want Aaron Ramsdale to have more of a shot in the Bournemouth shirt. We'll get onto his rating in just a moment, but I've given him 80 diving, 80 handling, 81 reflexes, 79 positioning and 73 kicking as his main stats. Obviously it's not too different, I kept his kicking the same. Dropped his diving and handling by 1, reflexes by 1, and kept his positioning the same. I don't think the stat changes are going to reflect the overall rating as much as other years. Like, his ratings for an 82 rated card, I think is still a little bit low. Like, as an 82 rated card, I thought maybe he'd have a little bit higher stats, but I've reflected how I think his FIFA 19 will go. Moving on, we have Artur Boruc. He was a 77 rated non-rare gold at the start of FIFA 18. I think he's definitely going to get a downgrade. He hasn't really played much. I've dropped him down to a 75 overall. I might want to add, obviously, the rarity of the cards. They're all rare, just a disclaimer. Every single one of them rare. I don't think they will be. I'm not predicting that they will be. Like Artur Boruc, I think he'll be a 75 rated non-rare gold. Just for, you know, easy sake, I've kept them all rare. But reflecting on his stats, 77 diving he started with at FIFA 18. I think that's going to drop down a couple. Handling, I think will be the same. I think that's low enough for a 77, let alone a 75. 80 reflexes dropped from 82, and I think just a couple of stats just dropped. Obviously they'll be on the screen, you can see them. I kind of want to cover the ones that really I have made a difference with. Obviously Aaron Ramsdale, not much to say here. I think he's had good performances for the under 20s, I think it is, England under 20s, and he's been playing for us in the under 21s. He's a great young goalkeeper. I think he deserves a shot. Obviously you've seen in previous years, Pickford, great example. When he gets the chance in a Sunderland shirt, he performed amazingly. He's now the 3rd most expensive goalkeeper in the world now. I think Ramsdale should get a go. I've raised him to a 64 bronze card. Mainly just because he hasn't done it for Bournemouth, but he's shown it in the under 21 and under 20. So I think he should be growing slightly. I don't think they should keep him 61. I definitely don't think they should downgrade him. So the only way to go, really, we've stayed in the Premier League now for our 4th season, I think it is now. So I think a little raise to 64 is quite deserved. Now, here's the one that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Moving on to the defence. Adam Smith. He started off as a 73 silver. I don't understand. I honestly don't understand why he's silver. He's had great performances, great goal contributions. He's a solid right back. I raised him to a 75 gold. Whether it's rare or non-rare, I think it would be a non-rare gold if he does go up to a gold rating. On career mode on FIFA 18 at the moment, he is a 75 overall. So I don't see why they should downgrade him from that rating. Honestly, I would go as far to say 76 rated right back. I think that would be deserved. I've raised his pace, I think is the key stat, from 76 to 80. That's the biggest upgrade of the card. I think this is well deserved. I don't think he's slow. Like 76 is just ridiculous. Like, he beats people for pace on the right. I mean, there's not much else to say apart from I would give him that rare card. But I think if he does get a gold, I think it will be a non-rare. Moving on, Simon Francis. He started off as a 76 rated centre back. Honestly, I think age may play a part in this one. He didn't really do much wrong in last season, but I don't really see him getting an upgrade. I have downgraded him to a 75. Now, this I haven't done for any other reason apart from his age and just understanding what EA do. When you get to a certain age, you start declining in EA's eyes. In my eyes, I don't think so. I think 76 would probably be a fair rating. That's why I haven't really touched his card. Like, I have actually upgraded his pace just a tad. Not because I think that they're going to get a downgrade and get an upgrade on the stats. I honestly have upgraded his pace because I think 65 is ridiculous. He used to be a right back for us. He does outpace people. I just think 65 is too low. I haven't changed his stats apart from the pace because I think the pace kind of is the only thing I would change. If he does get the 75 that I predicted, I think that they will downgrade it to a 75 defense, 75 physical, and probably downgrade his pace because he's getting older, but I disagree. That is just kind of what I've done for Simon Francis. Moving on to Steve Cook. He did very well last season, to be fair. Towards the end of the season, he kind of dropped off a little bit. It's tough to compete with Ake. Like, Ake is just something special for us. I think we're never going to have a centre-back like Ake. Honestly, in a negative way, I think that he is going to leave us eventually, Ake. But we're not talking about Ake at the moment. We're talking about Cook. Cook started off as a 77 non-rare gold. I think that was a fair card for him. I think his pace is a little bit harsh. I have upgraded his card, as you can see now. Steve Cook, I have upgraded to 78, basically because he got inform. He got an inform in Ultimate Team. I think that basically says that he can't get downgrade really because he had a good season to get that inform. Especially with the rest of the centre-backs that are in the league, you have to compete with people like Bailly. Why can't I think of any good centre-backs? There you go, Virgil van Dijk. Like, there's loads and loads of really top-class centre-backs, and Steve Cook got an inform. Like, he outshone. He did really well. I think he was probably in line for me to actually get an England call-up, to be called up to the England squad. Maybe as just a reserve player. I don't know. I think Bournemouth players are overlooked. I think we have got a lot of talent. I've upgraded his pace by 4. That's the main one that I've upgraded massively. Again, because I think that he's been underrated on the pace stat. 56 pace, really? Really? And I think any centre-back in the Premier League, apart from Mertesacker, like, you need pace to survive in the Premier League. And Steve Cook has survived in the Premier League. Like, that's all I can say. Like, I think 60 rating for a pace stat would probably be a fair rating. But yeah, I think that's a fair card. And if that is a card, that would be a really good starter centre-back. And I think he'd be cheap as well because he's not in that 70 pace stat. So keep an eye out for that one. Ake, here we go. If you're wondering, by the way, why I'm looking down, I'm looking at my phone because I've got all the players like on a slideshow on my phone, just so I can keep up to date with what's going on for my video. But anyway, moving on. Nathan Ake. He started off as 75 overall. Got the upgrade, as you can see, to 77, which was a fair upgrade. Honestly, 2 informs. The guy had a great season. He was probably one of our best, if not the best player for Bournemouth last season. I think an upgrade to this, the 80 rating, is it a bias rating? I think I might be being a little bit biased. It's quite a big upgrade considering you got 75 to 77 anyway. Probably somewhere around the 78, 79 mark is probably going to be more realistic, but this is how I think he should be rated. I think 80 rating, considering if you think about the other centre-backs in the league, Chris Smalling, he hasn't had the best season, he's still an 81 overall. Ake is obviously a better centre-back in my opinion. 80 rating I think is a fair rating. 80 pace, he's fast, he used to be a left-back, play centre defensive mid. He's definitely fast, as you can see in some of his cards that he's got this year. 80 defending from 78, I think, again, fair. And I've kept his physical only raised by 2. Like, you can just see roughly on screen, like, I've done just a little knock up. I think that is a fair card. Honestly, I think I might be over hyping it. I think he's going to be a little bit lower than that. But I think that would be a fair card for him. Tyrone Mings, again, not much to say about this one. I'm going to put both his cards on screen straight away. All I've done is raise his defense and downgraded his pace. I think that is basically what's going to happen to him. I think, if anything, like, he hasn't done much, he's been injured. That's why I've done the pace downgrade, because I think obviously EA, that's how they're going to think. He's been injured for a long period of time, therefore his pace gets affected. I think that's kind of how it's going to be. The main thing I've done is I've changed him from a left back to a centre back, because that's predominantly where Eddie Howe likes to play him. I think that would be a fair card, and I think that would still be a usable card, even though he's had slight downgrade in some aspect. I think still definitely a usable card. Charlie Daniels, again, not much to say about this one. I've given him the upgrade. He's basically played pretty much every game. He's been good in some games, inconsistent in others, but he played a full season. He got us predominantly mid-table. And yeah, I think a little upgrade is not much to like ask really for a left back who's played most of the games. He has had a downgrade in pace, in my opinion, basically because the same aspect that EA do hype up the whole age thing. Age means decrease in pace. That's kind of been the theme. Maybe that will change. I don't know. This is again just a prediction. I've upgraded his defending and basically, yeah, upgrade his shooting by 2. It's little upgrades, little tweaks, just for the card, what I think it will be. But again, I think he'll get the downgrade in pace, if anything. Moving on, we have our new signing, the one I'm extremely excited about using in my starter team for my Road to Glory that I'm planning on my channel. Rico is just an overall really solid left back. Obviously, he started with Leganes. I don't know how to pronounce it. That Spanish league side that they did well. He was kind of their best player. Again, little tweaks. Raised him up to a 78. Obviously, getting that move to the Premier League, I think, warrants an upgrade anyway to 77. And then the 78 rating because he had a great season. He had a really, really good season. He's predominantly the reason that they survived in that league. 56 shooting on his old card is kind of underrated a little bit. Like, I think he deserves a lot more. He scored a lot of really good long shots, and I think his long shot in-game stat is going to be the one that's going to keep it up to the 60 rating that I've predicted. Little upgrade in pace. He's definitely, I saw one of his goals last season. He started from here, the defender was here, and he still beat him and scored. Like, he's not 76 pace, that's all I'm saying, guys. Like, obviously little tweaks with defending I've raised up a little bit. I've kept his physicality the same because I want to kind of balance it a little bit, but I think that is a great card, and I think that'd be a great card for a starter squad. Little players again, I'm kind of going to skip over a little bit, but I'll show you what I've done anyway. Brad Smith, kind of kept the same, not much really to change. So yeah, that's Brad Smith. So this is the one that I'm very, very excited for. I think he's going to have a good season. I think this card is going to be in every single starter squad at the beginning of FIFA 19. Lewis Cook started off as a 71 overall centre attacking mid. Just mind blown. Honestly, like 71. The guy got called up to the English squad basically to be in the reserve. If anyone gets injured, he'll get in. So that's already a good start considering he's the under-21 captain. Like, he had a great season for Bournemouth. Won the under-21 tournament for England. Like, phenomenal player. Absolutely. I'm really excited to see him next season. I've raised him to a 76 rated gold. I think that is definitely a fair rating. I've moved his position from cam to centre mid. Honestly, that's where he's played. That's what's going to happen. Little changes again. Kept his pace the same just to balance out the stats. I don't think his pace has much changed in a year. Honestly, I think 76 dribbling, 70 defending is the big one. Obviously, where I've raised him 7? Why am I saying 7? 5 ratings. I have raised his defence by 8. I think his defence is extremely underrated. I think 70 defending and 72 physical is a fair stat. Raised his shooting a little bit by 58. I think you could even push that to 60. I don't think 58 is a fair reflection, but honestly, I'm predicting what EA is going to do. This is kind of what I thought. Raised his passing by 6. Again, this is just my prediction. It could be a bit of an extravagant upgrade, but he was so underrated from his performances this year. I think that's a fair reflection, a fair card, and a really good balanced card. Like, I would use it no matter what. Moving on. Dan Gosling, another one. It might be a little bit controversial. I raised him from 73 to a 75. I think I've raised his stats probably a little bit too much on this one. I want you guys to let me know. I didn't know how to balance it out, so what I did was raise his pace a little bit. I kind of like tweaked everything just a little bit. Apart from his dribbling, which I kept the same, I don't think that's changed much. He's not really known for his dribbling stat. So I think 68 is a fair reflection. Honestly, Gosling is one of those players that you could probably argue to have 70s across the board. I think he's good at everything. I think he's not great at everything. I'm not his biggest fan, but he is solid, and he played pretty much all season. He pushed Sermon out of the squad. Like, he's had a good season. I don't think he should be silver. Anyone who plays every game well, all season long, deserves to be a card, a gold card. Like, I think maybe a non-rare gold, probably a fair reflection, 75. Arguments if he gets the all 70 stats, maybe to be a rare gold, I'm not too sure, but that's just my prediction. Sermon, another one who have just raised up by 1. I think he's done well, mid-table. I think the team doesn't deserve many downgrades, maybe little tweaks here and there, maybe a little raise up on a couple of ratings. That's kind of the theme I've gone for. Not much to say about Sermon apart from a couple of little tweaks here and there. Harry Arter, again, another one. I can't really, as much as I love the guy, he's been my favourite Bournemouth player for as long as I can remember. He might not even be at Bournemouth by FIFA 19. Like, that's how upsetting this is. I think he's going to leave, honestly. I'm not sure where. He's got interest from Cardiff. He's got interest from Swansea, Aston Villa, Newcastle, West Ham. He's got interest everywhere. I don't know why we're not using him, honestly. But if we bring in a player who I'm going to be covering in a minute, yeah, I don't think his stats can change much. He hasn't played much. I think maybe just keeping the card that he had in FIFA 18 over to FIFA 19 would be a fair reflection. Emerson, another one, might be controversial. I have raised him to a 71. I've seen something in Hyman pre-season is the reason why I've raised him so much. Again, young player, had a good season for Rangers. I think it was 2 years ago now. He's just a good young player. I think just constantly raising him every FIFA would be a fair reflection until he pushes his way into the team. I think he's definitely got a case to be in the starting 11 next season at some point, but he needs to be more consistent. Pre-season he's been great, scored a goal against Sevilla, I think it was Sevilla. Sevilla or Levante. We played a game against both of them. I can't remember who he scored against on top of my head. He scored a goal, it was a really good goal. I think he's proving that he's growing, and I think that would be a fair reflection to be at 71 overall. Again, just raise his stats here and there, a few ratings just to boost that stat. And yeah, I think that would be a fair card. Moving on, we have got David Brooks. David Brooks is our new signing from Sheffield. He's a good player, a very good player, I'll tell you that. And he's definitely already in contention to be in the starting 11 at the start of the season. I think he'll be a centre attacking mid still. I think he deserves the upgrade to silver. Again, will EA do it? I'm not sure. He's played pretty much every game, most minutes in pre-season. I've boosted him to a 70 overall. I think the little boost and everything, his pace and dribbling is so underrated. I can't stress it enough. He started the year with a 64 pace, 68 dribbling card. Unbelievable. The guy is amazing. He started with 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot. Now, I honestly would boost that to 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot. I don't understand that. Boost his pace 72, dribbling 73. I don't understand where EA gets some of their stats. Brooks is definitely an underrated player in my books. Moving on to a player who's not even a Bournemouth player. Like, the reason I've put him in is because we've been linked with him all summer. He has gone AWOL from Levante, and Levante are proper messing us over here. We've agreed personal terms with him. He's agreed to join the club. He wants to join the club. He's had meetings with Eddie Howe and agreed everything. We have offered over 20 million for this player, and he has still yet to have an offer accepted from Levante. I have no idea what Levante are doing. They are just messing him up. He's upset. He's annoyed. I don't know. Will it go for... I think it's going to be one of those that goes all the way to deadline day and we might get a deal done there. But I put him in because I believe that we will get the deal over the line. Jefferson Lerma started off with a 75 overall card. If, it's a big if, he goes to Bournemouth, this is the card that I hope and I think he deserves. On screen now. 78 overall. I think this card would be so overused. It's unbelievable if we get him. 78 pace, 75 dribbling, 73 defending, 82 physical and 75 passing is where I've gone. Looking at his previous stats, I don't think that's too much to ask. I think he's had a good season. He went to the World Cup. He performed well for Colombia. I think it's a fair reflection. Will it happen? I don't know. I think if he goes to Bournemouth, I think he'll get a raise to 76 with a few little stat changes, but I don't think it'll be as extravagant as I'm hoping. Moving on to Stanislas. He started off again 73 overall is ridiculously underrated. The guy has pretty much turned our season on its head. He was injured for the beginning of the season. He came back, and when he came back, he was like a new signing. He chipped in with goals, assists, everything, and I raised him to 76. He started off as a right mid. He played most of the season as a left mid, so I've kind of swapped that. That's another position change for you. Left mid 76, I think it's a fair rating. Like 83 pace, 70 shooting, 73 passing, 76 dribbling. Like there's players like, take Swansea's new Dutch signing from last season, Narsing. Narsing is not Premier League proven. Started the year as a 75 rated rare gold. Like, come on. Stanislas is Premier League proven. He's chipped in with goals, assists, a lot. I think this is a fair rating for him. Whether it happens, again, it's EA, I'm not too sure. This is pretty much the same one. Jordan Ibe, he started off 71 rated silver. The guy came back from an injury, chipped in with 2 assists on his debut game back. He's actually scoring this season, and pre-season he got us the draw against Sevilla. Sevilla are a good team. I think he should be a 75 rated rare gold. I've made him a right mid, which he was already. There's arguments to say that he'll be a left mid. I'm not too sure what his position is going to be this season, but I've chipped his pace up by 1, 86 pace, 78 dribbling, 67 shooting, 63 passing. I think that's a fair reflection, maybe even underrated, but I honestly think he deserves that. Moving on to Ryan Fraser. Ryan Fraser again, 73 rated silver. The guy is awesome. Like, the guy actually performs really, really well. I think a little boost to a rare gold, or like 90 pace, I think is definitely fair. That's kind of his main stat in my opinion. Everything else is bang average, 78 dribbling, 70 passing. He'll still be a usable card at the beginning of FIFA. I don't know, these 3 wingers all deserve to be gold in my opinion because they've all proven themselves in the Premier League. Whereas players like Narsing and I can't think of many off the top of my head, but there's been loads. Like Yanyazai is a gold now. Like, there's just players that aren't Premier League proven that are gold, whereas people that are Premier League proven are still silver. I think that's not quite right. I think they should all just be low rated golds for now, and then they have the option to get informs, which would be a lot more usable. Obviously, being a low rated gold, if you get an inform, you boost straight up to just over 80, which I think would be awesome. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for. So on the subject of wingers, we have one of our very few downgrades. Mark Pugh, he's just getting on now. I don't think he's going to keep up with the Premier League this season. He'll probably be a bit part player, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think a little downgrade to 72 is not a miss. He did score a couple of goals, I think, but not much. He was kind of just a squad field player. He's a legend. I don't want to see him get too much of a downgrade, but I think this would be a fair reflection. I didn't want to downgrade his pace, but it's EA. I think he might start the year with probably 70 pace, maybe 69, which I think is a little bit unfair, but it's just the way it is when you get to this part of your career. So, another winger we have is young Mahoney. Again, not much to say about him. I've kind of just boosted everything because he's a young player. He's played well pretty much in pre-season from what I've seen. I think a little boost to 68 is just showing that he's going in the right direction. I think that's a nice reward for a young player. Not much to say about him, but now we get to the attacking part of the team. Wilson, 90 pace on his original card, 75 overall. I've boosted into a 78. Now, again, this might be a little bit too much, but then you think about some players that are 78 overall in FIFA and you think maybe not. The guy's proven in the Premier League, he scored goals pretty much whenever he plays. He got 2 informs last season, one being 84, which was overpowered as hell. 78 overall, I think is not much to ask. I think there's even argument to say that he's 79 pushing 80, in my opinion, but I didn't want to be too biased, so I thought 78 overall would be fair. The reason I did this is because we've also got a little upgrade of our next player, which is Josh King. Started the season with a 77 overall striker. I didn't want to boost him too much because he didn't do as much as he has in previous years, mainly because we played him a little bit out of position, but I think that's going to reflect his FIFA 19 position. I think he might start the year as centre forward. I'm not too sure. 78 overall centre forward I think would be the card I would be if I was EA. I think that's a fair reflection. He didn't play bad, he played pretty well, he scored here and there, and I think that would be a fair reflection. Not much changes to the stats, a little bit here and there. I think the physicality is the one that I really focused on. Boosting that up to 75 I think is a definite fair thing to do. Obviously Wilson's 78 because he's known to be a little bit more like you push back into players and use that sort of strength to get around them. I think Josh King is definitely underrated in his strength stat, so I think that should be tweaked for FIFA 19. Moving on, we've got Lys Mousset, who has definitely surprised me a lot pre-season as well. We've just rewarded him the number 9 shirt, and I think a fair reflection would be to reflect that in his FIFA 19 rating. I think a boost of 74, definitely fair. I wouldn't go as far as saying that he's a gold player as of yet, but I think 74, I think that's a fair reflection. Like, if you think Benekathobe was 74 rated, like, I think if Benekathobe can be 74, Lys Mousset in my opinion is a better player, and I think 74 would be just fair all round. I think obviously his stats, I've just changed his pace was downgraded in FIFA 18. I don't understand why. He's definitely not slow, he's not the fastest, he's definitely not up there with Wilson, King and all that lot, but I think 83 pace, 74 shooting and 70 dribbling are his main key stats. I think that's fair. I think you could even argue that his dribbling should be a little bit higher. He's a very agile player for like he's 6 foot I think he is, so I think 74, and then giving him the option if he performs, we'll be able to get that boost to a gold. This is really what I want to see. So Jermaine Defoe I have downgraded. Now I didn't want to because he got an inform last season. I didn't think it was fair. There's arguments to say that he'll keep his 80 rating. He's definitely performed really well in pre-season, scoring I think 2 or 3 out of 4 pre-season games so far. By the time this video goes out, he would have already played Real Betis and Marseille as well, which I'm going to be vlogging. The vlog might already be up, by the way, so because I'm making this before the game, but I'm definitely vlogging that, so Defoe might have even surprised me a bit more, and this rating might not be the case. I think he started off at 80. The age thing, probably it's going to be his last season. I think a downgrade to 79 is probably where EA's head's at. I don't know, I think there's argument to say that he'll keep his 80 rating and downgrade his pace, like 1 or 2 stats, but boost a couple of little stats, maybe like dribbling and passing up a little bit, just to level his card out at 80 still, but show that he's getting on. I'm not sure, I think that card is probably a fair reflection of what he is, FIFA 18 card that is. 74 pace, 85 shooting, 79 dribbling, I think that's fair. I don't see there's much room for downgrade, but it's EA, they're probably going to be more like what I've predicted, 79. I didn't want to touch his pace too much because I don't think he's showing signs of slowing down as much. But I think that would be a fair card either way. Either one of those you could argue for Jermaine Defoe. He's a legend. I don't want to see him get downgraded. Last but not least, we have a new player to FIFA, and this guy, I am literally hoping for big things. Pre-season, he's already scored. He's centre-back, Jack Simpson. I've given him a 64 rated bronze. Now, guys, you probably sat here thinking, well, that's not exciting, it's a bronze guy. I think he's going to have a good season. I think he's going to push into the starting 11. I think it might be a back 3 of him, Francis and Ake to start. Obviously, him and Cook switching round. Obviously, if Francis shows signs of slowing down, him and Cook can switch out. I think that's probably going to be the case. Jack Simpson has performed really well in pre-season. He had a few games last season in the Premier League, but he's honestly a good talent. He's quite tall, I think that's 6'2". He's good in the air. He scored with his head in pre-season already against Levante, I think. He's a really good, promising youngster. So I put him in here just because he's not in the game on Ultimate Team at the moment. But I think a 64 rated bronze rare centre back card would be great for him. Obviously, this is the card design I've gone for. not the flashiest, but I was quite impressed with the way it came out. But anyway, that's my Bournemouth predictions. Obviously, I'd like to see more from managers in Ultimate Team. Maybe managers have an effect on the way the team plays or something. I don't know. Then obviously I was going to put Eddie Howe in this, but that's just kind of for another video, really, in my opinion. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this very different episode. I want to get a little bit of FIFA 19 on the channel before it's released. So this is why I've done the news video last week and this video this week. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure to leave your predictions down below and let me know another team you'd like to see. If you want me to do player reviews for my predictions for FIFA 19 on another team, maybe like Liverpool, Arsenal, Man U, let me know. I'll take a look what I can do and I'll get you another video. But if you've enjoyed this, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, share on social media with your friends, family, whoever you think will enjoy this video. And until next time guys, have a great day.